Okay, so potentially could be our longest cold opening ever.
Good.
This is a Roswell cold opening. She falls in with bad foxes like Pinocchio. She does voices and calls farmers as the chicken inspector. Her real children, realizing she's gone missing, call Fox France. She is not to be heard of. He says, I think she went. They go, but the trail is cold. They are crying in the countryside when a rabbit asks them. They describe their mother. The rabbit screams, Roswolf, and runs away. She is already too far gone in the world of foxes. They call Dad. Would you like to be Bad Fox 1, Bad Fox 2, Roswell, Jasmine, Egworth, or Ian, Max, Tone, Graham?
I'll be Roswell and the boy kid and the rabbit.
I really hope her actual children are not called Jasmine and Egworth.
No, they are not. One of them posted what her real name was and her full address. I'll get it for next week.
Did she post her PIN number?
Yes.
Okay. And action.
I'm going to eat all these. Come on, foxes, come on.
Oh, yes, lady. I'm so happy that you're now with us because we've never had so much feast in our belly since you were with us.
I've got a heck of a plan.
What is it, Mag? What is it, Mag? Tell us.
I'm going to use my prolific voice talent to call the farmer. Just watch.
Oh, we've never returned so well in our life. You're brilliant.
Oh, you're going to love this. Ring, ring.
Hello.
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 This is Helen Lovejoy, the gossipy wife of the Reverend and Miss
I can't believe it. Off the Simpsons TV show, calling me a Czech farmer.
Yeah. I am a chicken inspector also.
Ah, what? Fictional wife of priest off the Simpsons is coming here to inspect my chickens.
Yes, in the next 10 minutes, get them all, heat them up slightly.
Oh, let me brush them all. Do you need them brushed?
No.
Do you need them brushed?
Brush their insides.
Okay, I'll be ready for you.
Bye. Right, come on, rabbits. Come on, foxes.
We're not rabbits. You've gone bloody rabbit crazy. We're foxes. Oh, yeah, we're foxes.
I just want to rip flesh with my teeth.
Come on, Maggie, show us how it's done.
This is how we used to do it back in Denver.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the world,
ring, 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 ring. Oh, bloody hell, Egworth. It's been weeks since we've heard from Mama.
Yes, that is correct.
Ring, 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 ring. I think it's time for me to call Fox France. That's the last thing we heard, that she was seeking voice work business in Le Francais.
Well, ring them before you ring me.
Ring, ring. Oh, you're next to me in the room, you fool.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ringing them now. Ring, 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 ring.
Please answer.
please answer, Fox Executive.
Bonjour.
Hello. Bonjour. Où est ma maman?
Le Roswell.
Maggie Roswell. Où est Maggie Roswell?
Check.
Check 1, 2.
Sayonara.
Bonjour. Oh, you'll never believe it, Egworth. She's only gone to Czech Republic. Let's get on a plane.
This is a threat. But I did just get fired. We might as well just start with the countryside, haven't we, Jasmine?
Well, there's no Fox Czech Republic. Only a clown would think that. All right, let's head out into the countryside. It's no good. It's no use. Oh, boo-hoo. There's no use.
Oh, shut up. There's a lot of foxes over there.
It's no use. Oh, quitters never win, winners never quit. Oh.
The trail is cold. Wow. Let's ask this. All animals can talk now. So let's ask this rabbit.
I've got an app for my phone.
I don't know why we didn't do that before.
Rabbit, have you seen my mother? She's about your high. And she's about curly hair and straight hair and blonde hair. She's always banging on about voices.
The Roswell.
What? He ran away? Follow him, Egworth. Follow him, he knows something.
You follow him, I'll follow you.
Gasp.
What?
I can't. What? Mother?
Is that Mom riding around?
She's covered in blood and the innards of chickens.
And what should we do?
Next to her is a very disappointed farmer.
Mom. Oh. please don't.
Mother, she's coming for us. Oh God, is this the end? Mother, she's gone feral.
Look at these giant chickens, Foxes. Get them. Look at these giant
Oh, they
pink
look delicious. I don't think the chickens though, Maggie. You're too far
they are.
gone. I've heard
Rip
of this
out their
before.
jugulars, tear out their hearts.
When everything you see looks like chickens, she's gone mad, Baz. Grab her. No, I can't. I won't fight you that chicken too. They're not chickens. They're bloody humans.
Run,
But
Jasmine.
we're foxes, so it doesn't matter. I bet.
What is going on here?
Father!
Yes.
Maude! It's a bloody Maude Goodman cast. She's the ghost from the Sumsums TV show. Twins Bona and Garrett Goodman with 17 illegitimate children, but not Maude. Unspoken bond with Jasper. Ruined apple pie. She's a volunteer vaccine administrator and Maggie Roswell's greatest non-chicken moment. It's the Maude Bloomin' Flanders Goodman cast. Season 6, Episode 3, Episode 55. Zaz, who would have bloomin' thought it?
We're in the back half. We're in the end game now, as
On the home straight.
Dr. Stephen Strange would say.
The Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes, the Anton Ouija board of the Marvel universe.
Exactly. But here we are now. Thankfully, I'm able to speak to you on my telephone, which hasn't run out of battery yet. It seems the chargers here in Springfield work on my phone, so that's good. But I'm on my way to the Springfield school with Rod and Todd. They've decided to help me, to take me. Isn't that right, Rod?
Yes. Yes, it is.
And isn't that also right, Todd?
Yes.
Right, take me to the school. Your mum's Maude Flanders, isn't she?
Yes.
Is she? Do you miss her?
Yes.
What's your last memory? Or maybe I shouldn't ask that.
I'll answer. I'm Rod. I remember the last thing I remember is seeing the back of her head.
Oh, we're here now. Okay, so show me. Show me. I'm looking for my little glowing animate carbon Todd. He looks a bit like your Todd, but he's like glowing green and a bit smaller. Where do you think he'll be hiding?
If I had to hazard a guess, I'm Rod again. I would. I'd start with that groundskeeper's shack. He's a bit of a spooky fella.
Well, there he is. I bet it. Look at him. He's shouting at a rake. Arr, arr, bloody grass. Arr, arr, arr. Oh, bloody hell. Violent, fictional Scottish man. How about you? Can you sneak me into that around there?
Yeah.
I'm Rod again. I'll distract him by, I'm going to go over and tap Wendell on the back and make him be sick. And then while I'm doing that, you, adult man, and Todd Flanders, you sneak in to the shack and see if you can find a glowing boy.
Okay, it's a plan. Sneak, 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 sneak. Ooh, vomit, slap, vomit. Oh, here we are. Okay, we've done it, Todd. Where is, what? I can't see him in here, but I do see, who is that? Sherry, what are you doing?
That's not Sherry, that's Terry.
Sherry, what are you doing? Where's my bloody animate carbon Todd?
Gone.
I can see him. He's in there. He's in that tunnel. I'm going. Follow me, Todd. To be continued. Hello. Good morning and mysterious T-shirt cannon victim club. Cram down a subdivision of Carcass Geezer. Brought to you by Jeff Apples, Sunderland. Probably. We're still getting the checks, I hope. It's a fair distance away, and I sure hope all is good. All hail corporate imperialism. Sponsors.
China National Petroleum, caring for energy, but mostly caring for you. New Silk Road Visions, we don't coerce or compromise your independence. 396 billion in debt and counting.
Number 9, Jenny the Vixen Ryan, Quiz Olympiad 174, World Quiz Championship, the Bolston Brainiac and Bounty Hunter for Cash, the smartest lass in Boughton, an X Factor celebrity 3rd place champion.
Devil Slayer, 4th tier Marvel hero. Eric Payne, Queenstown, Demon Cult Agents of Fortune Unlock. Psionic Potential Brain, a mystically created dimensional cloak. Battle with Vera Gemini / Xenogenesis. prevent cult's mystical plans from being realized of cult leader named David. Temporary mystical powers by demons of six-fingered hand. Eric travelled through dimensional realms fought Balthazar, unrelated to Maude. Payne's mental instability remitted to an asylum, where he discovered a shard of the Nexus of Realities. Shortly afterwards, Eric is seen as a member of the Hawaiian Initiative team, the Point Men, serving the team as the Monster Hunter. Devil Slayer uses his shadow cloak to teleport Delroy to Camp Hammond before taking Star Sign and Pay Dirt to our good lord.
Sponsor Jungle Rex's triple sock blower hot sauce. Buy it at Punt Smoosher. CEO Rex Woofington, MIA RIP, says a moment of fire glisten on your tonsils. Great for barbecue, sauces, spices, and rubs and bingo wings. Chipotle Quaxatottle.
Exactly. Bonus sponsor, Lipton's iced tea.
It's ours. I can't believe now we've worked out who's done it, boys. I can't believe we've worked out who's done it. Go find the mystery. Find the mystery's ours.
Bye, Dr. Nick.
Bye.
Okay. Well, I am currently on my way to Springfield Mall's photo shop to track down Maude's cousin. Because if anybody knows anything, it's got to be Maude's cousin.
Osmond Tinker Turnbull, the happiest man in Springfield, I believe.
That is the one. Don't look at me, friends. But yeah, well, I'm there now. It was a very short trip because time works differently here.
Yeah.
Hi, Osmond.
All right.
How are you?
I'm bloody marvellous, Zaz, son. Who are you? What can I do for you?
Hi. I'm looking to track down somebody, a NASCAR lady.
Oh, yeah, a NASCAR lady. They're always coming in here. Always coming in here with the NASCAR jackets. Blah.
Exactly. I think one of them killed my best friend.
Oh, bloody hell. What do you mean, what's her name? My cousin. She got done in by a NASCAR lass with a T-shirt cannon.
Yeah.
And I don't want to kind of give any hints or spoilers are out, but Marge, my cousin, she's a bit of a woman, my sister. I say cousin because I don't want a kind of distance from her. But she was a NASCAR lady just for a short time.
She was?
Just around season 11.
That's mighty suspicious.
Yeah, because, over here we go off in like seasons of 8 months with 4 months off.
Oh, yeah. What happens in the 4 months off, just out of curiosity?
That's just downtime, isn't it? Kind of.
But you all still physically move. You're all still sentient.
Lolling about. We're not in cryogenic submersion or anything. But, anyway, she's done one to Springfield Township, where we're from and all, like.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, I guess I'm going there then.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Bye. Got to close now. Got to watch some Robin Williams films.
Which one?
Doc Hollywood.
I was assuming 24-hour photo, but okay.
Spoilers 3. 24-hour photo is not a happy movie, and I'm a happy guy. I only watch funny comedies like Flubber 2, and Flubber Goes to Summer Camp. Flubber 8 Goes to Summer Camp. Watched that, didn't I? Anyway, got to go now. Bye.
Bye. He was fun.
He was fun, wasn't he? He's fun, had a very strange accent. Let's go then to Springfield Township. Away.
Is there a lot of places in Washington, DC?
I don't know.
Not
but
DC.
while we're doing that, let's do a 2 mod for the Torium. Now, this one is a listening one, so I'm going to try something here and see what happens.
Diversity Pumpkin 2011.
Can you hear it?
I've wanted to make this thread for a long time now. It's going to focus on the true nature of Ned's late wife Maude. I'm quite surprised nobody has noticed this before. Obviously they've seen the signs, but nothing has been put together. When you've finished reading this post, I promise you, everything will be wrapped up in a neat little package and you'll never look at Maude Flanders the same way again. Ah yes, Maude Flanders. Have you ever noticed how she doesn't fit in with the rest of the Flanderses? On the outside, she resembles a goody-goody, visiting church and keeping up appearances, but whenever she's given some dialogue away from the family, her true self has risen to the surface. Let's take a look at the beginning of the twisted world of Marge Simpson, where the ladies are thinking of new franchise ventures. Without hesitation, she's agreeing to kick Marge Simpson out of their group. Just look at that expression. Even Marge realizes something is askew, but we're all aware of mob mentality, so let's give her the benefit of the doubt. For now, what I'd prefer to direct you towards is Maude's opinion of her husband, Ned. She loathes him. She wants him finished, deceased, and sleeping with the fishes. Have you ever seen this sociopath show any sign of affection towards him? After she passed on, which I'll get to later, it became clear she didn't want to be with the poor guy at all. Why does her imprint show she was facing away? Keep in mind that this was an imprint. Every single time she faced away from Ned, to the point where her body actually made a lasting impression in the mattress. Maude, that is it, Ned. If you don't unplug that phone right now, you're sleeping on the lawn. Could you imagine Ned saying that to Maude? Hell, could you imagine Marge saying that to Homer? Quite odd, considering Ned and Maude are supposed to be the perfect couple, in the perfect family. Remember the time Ned was about to be attacked by a bear? What was the excuse that Maude used on why she wouldn't unlock the door? I can't work the knob. Yeah, well, she got it eventually, right? Nah. She wanted Ned dead, and probably the rest of her family too. Those family tombstones she bought needed to be put to good use. Nettie, where have you been? Whenever you go on one of your late-night fog walks I get so worried. Lol, yeah? Let's just look at her expression right before she discovered Ned was safe. Does that look like worry to you? Or the pleasant feeling of content knowing that her husband could possibly be dead? Anybody remember the other time Ned went missing? She showed up at Marge's door and was like, "Hey, did your husband come home last night? Because mine didn't," and then left it up to the Simpsons and Lovejoy to go find him. Hell, she didn't even ask. Marge thought it was her fault and went to retrieve him herself. Take a look at the disappointment in her face the next time she appears. She's the only one without her mouth open. She doesn't care about Lovejoy's story. She's dead inside, knowing her husband survived the baboon attack. We all remember the time Ned was forced to leave the bomb shelter, when Bart's comet was heading towards the town. Maude, oh, I'm coming with you, Nettie. Ned, no, sweetheart, you stay here because, Maude, quickly, okay. Those really are the words of a loving wife. Fortunately, all that God-worshipping paid off for old Ned when he struck Maude down before she delved deeper into sociopathy and had a chance to kill him. And if anybody's looking for more proof that she was evil, then explain to me how the hell she came back as this.
So there you go. And that then was followed by a picture of the evil ghost Lord. Spoiler. So what do you have to say about that?
That was beautiful. We put the words back on, and I will go through what I thought. What I will say, which is ironic because we're probably up to about 60 hours of content now, is that this is a bit of a stretch.
Yes, but he's building up some evidence. But it's a little bit circumstantial. But tell me more.
I'm on board. I don't believe the Ned stuff. I'm on board with everything else. I don't think she hates Ned. I think she just loves nobody. That's where we've sort of established Maude to be.
So she's kind of sociopathic in the sense that she's cold and unfeeling, but not necessarily to Ned, just to everybody.
Yes.
If you can see here, I wrote down what the Healthline considers a sociopath. I'll read them and you say yes or no. Doesn't respect social norms or laws.
No.
Consistently breaks laws or oversteps social boundaries.
No.
Lies, deceives others using false identities or nicknames for personal gain.
No.
Doesn't make long-term plans.
Yes.
Often behaves without thinking of consequences.
Yes.
Shows aggressive or aggravated behavior.
No.
Consistently gets into fights or physical harm with others.
On show, no. In Maudecast, yes.
Doesn't consider, well, in the diary especially, but we don't know how much of that really happens. Doesn't consider their own safety or the safety of others.
Yes.
Doesn't follow up on personal or professional responsibilities.
We don't know. I'm going to hazard a guess at no.
Doesn't feel guilt or remorse for having harmed or mistreated others.
Yes.
Being cold by not showing emotions or investment in the lives of others.
Yes.
Using humor, intelligence, or charisma to manipulate others.
No.
Having a sense of superiority and strong, unwavering opinions.
Yes.
Not learning from mistakes.
Yes.
Not being able to keep positive friendships and relationships.
No.
Attempting to control others by intimidating or threatening them.
Occasionally.
Getting into frequent legal trouble or performing criminal acts.
No.
Taking risks at the expense of themselves or others.
Yes.
Becoming addicted to drugs, alcohol, or other substances.
Yes.
So
other substances being ice cream.
Wind chime, non-flavored ice milk.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd like to say this: the first couple of lines of that dismiss us as if we don't exist. Where is it? Go up a little bit more. That I'm quite surprised nobody has noticed this before. It was 2011.
It was 2011. It was a decade ago, almost 10 years before we started the Maudecast.
But the Maudecast started for me mentally when I was about 8 years old.
I don't think Diversity Pumpkin can be really blamed for not knowing that.
Well, he should use his words better. Very confident that nobody has noticed this before. Yeah, I'm sat right here in the Springfield Mall, having thought about it for decades.
A very good point. Well made. Should Diversity
You'll never
Pumpkin...
look at Maud Flanders the same way again. I'd like to test that theory.
He wrote this. He didn't appear on this the No Homers net after 2013. So Diversity Pumpkin seems to have diversified his own work. So she kicks Marge out of the group. We know that one. We've talked about that one. She loathes Ned because of the bed imprint. I don't think so.
No, the bed imprint is something I have issue with as well, because not only is it the wrong side of the bed, I believe, or we see them flip around. There's nothing, like, you can see that she's lying on her side, but you can't tell which way she's lying.
And we've seen her facing him as well as turning away. So we even the New Year's one we saw last week, I think she was facing inwards.
And I can see Marge saying that line about sleeping on the lawn to Homer.
Absolutely, totally. I can imagine her even going as far as throwing him out onto the lawn.
That's what I mean about it being a bit of a stretch. There's some good things in here, but then we're taking liberties, which we at the Maudecast would never do.
We would never. The liberties are certainly not taken by us. They remain exactly where they're supposed to be. We've already talked about Ned being attacked by the bear and how it was a little bit sus that she said she couldn't open the doorknob, but we also said maybe we can give her the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Yeah, that one is the one that sticks out the most as her trying to get him killed. But I still think it was more of it still applies to being a sociopath, but she wanted to see how it played out. She wanted to test Ned, like, is Ned actually going to be attacked by this bear, or is he going to sort it out himself? I don't think it was a situation where she thought this bear is going to kill Ned, but I do think that she was lying about not being able to open the door.
She was prepared to risk for a little bit of shits and giggles.
Basically.
Those family tombstones she bought need to be put to good use is a good line. I like that. Doesn't the late night fog walks, isn't that a Treehouse of Horror?
Yeah, so that doesn't count anyway.
Doesn't count.
As is the last point, which is just a fun little showing the ghost.
Yeah. And then when Ned went missing, and this was this the one with the baboons had attacked him, or is that something else?
Yes, this is the one with the baboons that attacked.
She's dead inside. She doesn't have her mouth open. She did talk about this, but we didn't dwell on that point very much.
I think we did. I think we vaguely mentioned this sociopath thing at the time. I'll double check, but this is the one where it's very, like we said, it is weird to phrase it like that. Did your husband come on last night? Oh, mine didn't.
There's that, and then the not very strong reaction when they're talking about the baboon, and then of course the real big one, the bomb shelter. But here's I'm coming with you, Neddy, my sweetheart. You stay here because okay. I've seen someone defend this, that the kids were right there and she didn't want him to go into any details as to why it was necessary for her to stay there. So she was kind of protecting the children and Ned was the one being insensitive there.
That is a good take. I still agree. Overall, I agree that she's a sociopath. I just don't think that she hates Ned.
No. To the extent that she's capable of love, she loves him.
Yes.
So can we blame her for not really being capable of love? So as we progress on, a lot of Maude talk today and a lot of fun Maude-related stuff now that we're here in Springfield itself, which is great. But I fear it's time now probably to get to some content. But first, the Maude Flanders Internet Museum, theme park database, etc. Currently, we don't know. It's in another dimension. I wonder if there's a Maude Flanders Internet Museum in this dimension. It's unlikely. Hopefully they're being fixed by monkeys E to Z. I think we only killed the first 4
Yes.
and the last one. So maybe Z is dead. And it's
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction reference, but it wasn't intentional. So that's good. I like it. All right. Nothing from Jacques. He hasn't found a way to get through the 9th wall yet. So how about we move on to some content?
Let's do it. We're back to where it all began.
We are. Give us some context for this content, if you don't mind, Zaz.
This is the season 9 finale, and despite pushing Todd's love of mini golf in his first appearance in season 2, this is the first time we have returned to the mini golf place with the Flanders family.
On camera.
How will she be doing? This time she gets to be in on the act.
Yes. It's quite a mucky set of actions. Natural born kissers. Clip 1. The Flanders 4 are stood on the crazy mini golf course. It is Maude's turn to bat. They are at the windmill hole. Todd is smiling and Ned is enthused, but Rod looks worried. Ned starts. So this is, if we're going to look at sociopath clues, this is another very good one, actually.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Todd is smiling. Ned is enthused. Ned says, the secret to the windmill hole is, and he's speaking softly and kindly, and Maud sassily looks at him with a sigh, to not hit the blades. WTF, I say. Is this to show that they aren't quite as loving as the Simpsons? Because often we use the Flanders to contrast. Usually it's for worse, to show how the Simpsons are worse, but in this case, it's almost to show how they're better. Ned, as always, it's water off a duck's back. He touches his nose and says, bingo, cheerfully. Maud looks at him with contempt. In front of the boys, closed-eyed Maud hits the ball soft and slow. The ball rolls into the windmill, missing the blades, and Homer shouts, woohoo! The whole family gathers then at the back of the windmill, while the very ducky Maud demurely waits. Classic back of... What's that?
No, it's a pause you there.
Yes.
Yeah, I only have several things to say. This fully fits into what we've just sort of what I've just half denied is going on, which is this is the most open contempt you'd ever have for Ned on screen, and it's unnecessary. I think it's in there just so there's something funny going on, I think. And it wouldn't work the other way around. Ned wouldn't say it to Maud. But I think the general thing I took from it is that they go here a lot, and he says that to her every time that they're at this windmill. Like, it's a bit of a sin of pride. He's very smug about knowing what to do when it's, he doesn't need to be told to avoid these blades in order to be successful. Rod looks very Maudy there, middle distance.
Very cutie, isn't it? Get a close-up of Todd.
Yeah, Todd's happy. Todd loves mini golf though, whereas Rod doesn't have a hobby. The family have gathers.
Hey, no spoilers.
But yeah, no, there's no need for her to be that rude. But I do like it. I like that it's just
sassy, isn't she?
Yeah, there wouldn't be much else to do here, comedy-wise. Really, I suppose now they would have had to. Rod and Todd are sort of the comedy, like gold mine in the Flanders family post-Maud. It's weird that at this point they didn't give the joke to Rod or Todd, they gave it to Maud twice in this scene.
Yes, I'm trying to rack my brains over what cute little thing Todd could say to show his idiocy, but I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, the ball rolls into the windmill, missing the blades, and Homer shouts, hoo, hoo, hoo. The family gathers at the back of the windmill. A very ducky Maud demurely waits. Classic BOT rod shot. Ned, that didn't come out the rear end, he says. Strange, flat-faced, worried Maud turns to Rod. You've got small, girly hands, she demands quietly, as he reaches in to fish it out. Cut to naked Homer and Marge.
Yes.
This is again quite rude, really, in many ways.
This must have been an off day for her. She must have been just dealing with her own stuff, and then the family made her go to mini golf.
I'm interested to hear, maybe we'll hear in her diary or something, like what exactly was going on that made her dish out this sass to everybody except for Todd. And
that's just, we didn't see any on-screen Todd sass, but who knows?
Exactly.
She seems like she's seconds away from hitting them all with a tray. You've got small girlish hands. Like, again, it's just a line that Ned couldn't say. because it's too mean, and it would be. But again, it would have been. It's shocking for me to be saying this, but it would have been funnier if Todd had said it to Rod, given that he's smaller and has a girlier voice.
Would have been a little bit more ironically, sarcastically funny, rather than just mean.
I'm getting the impression here that I'm going to look it up now. Who wrote this episode?
IMG?
No. It was written by Matt Selman, and it was his first episode, I believe. But somebody liked Maude. Somebody wanted to, because the go-to family tends to be, it couldn't have been the Van Houtens at this point. They're ruled out. So your next best bet is the Wiggums, because Ralph is, natural comedy.
We don't see a lot of the Wiggums on just hanging out together, right? The three of them, especially not at this point.
No, that is true. And then the Hibberts, we see the Hibberts and the kids occasionally, and then we're down to childless families after that, pretty much, other than like Cletus and the gang. So
Slim Pickens.
Yeah, this is one of those times where she's made it in just because it pretty much had to be. And I think that's why she's been given a couple of funny lines that probably would have been given to a funnier character if there was anybody else they could have used.
Yeah.
But what it has turned into, it's by far, it's one of the best Maude appearances for us. It's one of the more, she feels like she's a member of the TV show The Simpsons in this one.
Yes.
She's sort of acting a bit more like everybody else does.
If it was a classic sitcom, she'd have a lot more time as the classic next door neighbor. We've said this a lot, and she strangely gets very little airtime.
If she hadn't have been killed as well, like I noticed, I was watching the newest episode, like a Smithers episode, and there is just people like, and also I rewatched the Barb ones. There was one where it's like Patty and Selma are just in the very corner of the screen facing backwards for like 10 seconds, and then they walk off. And then there was a bit of, there was like a church group, and I was just thinking like she'd just be everywhere if she was still alive, because of they don't really use random characters that you don't recognise. So I think if she hadn't have died, we'd see a lot more of her on her own with more personality. It's just that she died before the technology got good enough to put people in scenes.
To randomly insert her in.
Yes.
Clip 2. Rod seems to have declined to reach his hands in. And the crowd is angry, and we see Wiggum, Ralph, they're all gathering. Rod says, "No, Dad, you stick your hands in there and see what it is. It's really weird." Have a listen to that clip. It's really weird how long he pauses between those phrases.
Yeah, I thought it was Ralph.
Noticeably. "No, Dad," because I think it's Rod kicking back. "No, Dad, you stick your hands in there," which is weird because it wasn't his dad that told him, it's his mum. And see what it is. Very strange. Cut to Cronenberg-style forehand squelching the fat of Homer like a stress ball.
It sounds like an ad-lib. There's one where Ralph says something like, everybody's shouting, it's the old and young thing, and everybody's shouting and the lines are overlapping, and then just at the end of it you hear Ralph say, "Somebody should iron you." It feels like one of those where it's just sort of half said and half thrown in, where you can sort of vaguely hear it. I'm not buying that. I was going to say this in clip 1, but I'm not buying that she doesn't know that it's Homer in there.
Really?
She just heard him scream.
Yeah, I guess she'd work out his voice. She'd be like, "Homer J. Simpson."
Yeah, and the car.
Why are you hiding inside this window?
Yes. So I think she's just an agent of chaos.
Maybe also she's realised what's going on and she does not want them to be discovered. The last thing she wants is for her children's eyes to be soiled by the post-coital Simpson hug.
I still think in the sociopath theory, she would take that. If it humiliated Homer and Marge enough where the whole town saw them like this, she would sacrifice Rob and Todd's innocent eyes.
Definitely go for it. Anyway, Maude does not reach her hands in it originally. The squelch noises and everything. Ned removes his hands. Something's in there, all right, doodly or oodly. Ralph, maybe it's a present for all of us. That's what Ralph says. And Edna says, "Well, it could be anything. It smells like a bear." Maude's hands are well in there by now. Everyone steps back. Maude gasps and moves away. "Another bear?" I ask. Mo arrives with a horse fastened to his car. No funeral. "Who cares what it is? Let's monoxide it." He grabs his exhaust pipe and starts spraying carbon monoxide into the window. Todd and Ned are shocked, and just a hint of the back of the something shot as Mo goes in. Back of the body shot as Mo goes in.
Excellent scene. I still, again, season 9's comedy is fine with me. It's the fact that they went away from realism that people don't like it that much. And realism's a bit of a stretch of a word.
You don't need realism, and a lot of these clips are very funny if you just watch them by themselves. Like that 30 seconds there is very funny, especially when Maude shows up.
Yeah, Edna's line is great as well. I just like how sort of dismissive she is towards Ralph. Like just the delivery of the line of like, well, it could be anything is very dismissive. And then just that Springfield, like the characters that are in this scene are relatively intelligent as well. Like you've got like Skinner and Agnes there, and the Flanders and Edna. But Edna suggests that it might be a bear, and they just instantly believe her and jump back in shock.
Well, I think they're struggling to work out what it could be. There's definitely some squelchy mound inside there, but bears, I'm sure, don't feel like a naked man.
No, Mo's arrival and line are very season 9, but let's monoxide it. And Maude doesn't say anything about this. She doesn't say, oh no, it's a living creature, like blah blah blah. Just don't get any monoxide on me.
She's all for it. Now, this is also like being right next to Edna, which we then later claim that Ned has no knowledge of. Being and Mo right in there. Normally he's being obnoxiously sleazy, but this time he doesn't care about Maude. He's turning up. He's got a job to do.
Yeah, there's no. If anything, he's quite nice in this one, except for the monoxide.
Well, he's just trying to help, isn't he? Quite why he's got a pipe that can fit onto his exhaust. That in itself, I guess, is the joke, right?
Yeah, it would have been Otto if it was more of a human, like less of a human line. It fits Mo's character, but it would have been Otto practically.
Makes sense. Clip 3. The smoke and fog clears and Maude has hand to mouth. Ned is coughing. The windmill is knocked over and Homer and Marge run away in the nudie. Nobody can really see because of the fog. Maude looks down and gasps at some red undies, some undie-dundies on the ground. She does not move but slightly leans forward as Ned gasps, it was people. People soiled our green, which is a reference to the end of the movie Soylent Green, in which they say, Soylent Green is people, I think. That was very funny. I believe so. Maude has a very strong reaction and some great Maude faces. And now they're out there somewhere naked as the day God made them, as her hands go to her mouth.
1 second. I am back.
Good. Yes.
You may continue.
Nancy looks on and waiting, laugh. Well, I tell you, they only come out at night, or in this case, the daytime. Helen Lovejoy, you've got to catch them, she says emphatically. Mo says, think of the children, pleasingly subverting our expectations. Won't somebody think of the children?
Fantastic Mo deliverer. I will pause you there. She's just doing a lot, isn't she? Like Ned, it's not an unfunny line, naked as the day God made them, and it's very relevant to Maude. It feels like she's been thought about in this episode. Maybe Matt Selman was the only person saying yes, Maggie Roswell does deserve this race.
He's making a case for Roswell, isn't he?
Yeah, and Roswell's delivering as she always does.
Well, she's a professional. There's no doubt of that.
We don't see her genuinely emote this much very often, do we? Like, she looks genuinely distressed, even though I've just speculated what's happening was exactly her game plan. But I do think this to me looks genuine. This doesn't look like she's manipulating anybody with emotions.
No, this looks straight down the line. She's shocked.
I don't know where Rod and Todd are.
Who knows? Probably gone off to investigate, or passed out from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Perhaps.
Maude has now calmed down and is smiling gently as Clancy takes the undies and gives them to his dog to smell. Maude looks longingly at the dog. Here, boy, get the scent. Dog is predictably shocked and goes googly eyes and runs away. Maude looks on at first unflustered and then looks passively. It's a roller coaster of a day. Clancy unconvincingly says that's a shame he had 1 day left till his retirement. No reason for that joke, and it doesn't work.
That's just a very generic joke that they use they use that joke a few times as well. And it'll be like, I think they use it in the movie, like the bomb robot shoots itself and Wiggum again says the exact same thing. The dog, yeah, it's a very predictable scene, isn't it?
Yes.
Like the dog, it's predictable, but maybe at the time it wasn't. Who knows?
The late 90s.
Maybe this had never been done before, but this isn't really relevant to anything. But well, it's relevant to Maude, but this might be the first time we've ever seen it interact with a dog.
First time I can think of. Seems to quite like the dog.
Really.
Not an animal lover. She's not afraid of the dog.
No, she's probably
at
just
it quite happily.
Yeah, she's probably one of those people. She's not super into dogs, but she's fine with them.
Put that on your gravestone.
Exactly. She taught us the joy of shame and the shame of dogs.
Not really into dogs. Doesn't mind them.
I have nothing particularly else to say about this. I don't think, which is a shame.
For The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace. Great title. Opening credits. We are sat in front of TV on chair, unmoving next to Ned and Mr. Burns. Rod is front row, but no Todd. As the Simpsons come in and say, "Squeeze me, Maude, do not move," smiles at wall, then moves head to side with small gaps, then quick back as lickety split, kawaii Moleman with his popcorn.
Nice. I forgot I'd put this in here. We're in season 10 now. This is the first season 10 Maude clip. And this is the first time she's been in the couch gag since something like season 4. And it's basically the same thing she did last time, I think.
Yeah, I wonder, isn't there an earlier one where they do pretty much the same thing?
Yeah, it's almost exactly the same, except this time there are chairs, and they've sort of put in more relevant characters, or more like popular characters.
Is that a couch gag, or is that when they're watching Homer as Poochie or on the Krusty Show or something?
No, it is a couch gag, because I remember we missed it, and I had to go back to it in a Maude Too Late. Because it was I believe it was in the monorail episode, so I missed it because I found the clips of Maude from the actual episode and didn't think about the couch gag, but then they reused it in like season 7, so I sneakily threw it into that as if it had never happened before.
That's okay. That counts. What is the story of the episode, The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace? Does she feature in it?
No, she is not in it.
What is the story?
It's the Thomas Edison one. Homer finds out about Thomas Edison, then tries to make something, and he makes that chair that you can tilt on, and it's got like a leg at the back to like balance you.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then he finds out that Edison had also designed a similar chair. It is a good episode. Season 10, I'm also fine with.
Well, let's see. I think we're getting into episodes now that I don't know very well.
It's likely. We're still in good territory for me. I would say I'm the most familiar with episodes from like seasons 10 to 12, because that they aired around the time I would have been ages 10 to 12 basically, and that's when I sort of got super into it and started recording them on like videotapes and rewatching them and doing my own like drawings and stuff. And a lot of that was season 11, season 12 sort of stuff.
I think maybe this is the edge of the ones I know, because I did know the windmill sexy scenes one. That's maybe that should have been our Maude After Dark episode, but then I guess Maude isn't doing anything too saucy in this episode.
No, there are still some. I'm sure there's worse things that she's going to do.
You would know,
especially when we get into the non-canon stuff.
Okay, so here we are now. We've met back up, thankfully. I ran through the tunnels, but unfortunately wasn't able to catch Animan Carbon Todd. I've no idea where he is. And we're stood here in the middle of Springfield. We've got to get to Springfield Township. How's that going to happen?
It just seems like if we think about it hard enough, we'll end up there, given how time and space work.
Hey, yo, guys, oodly. Would you like a liftily oodly iftly? Where are you going, neighborinos?
Who are you?
I'm just a mystery man who wants to give rides to people. That's why I'm wearing this mask, and so are my 2 children.
Yes. Well, I'm up for it.
Jump in then, Strangerino, and let's go. Beep, beep. Hooray.
I don't want to say too much, but I have a feeling that I know who these three people are.
Springfield Township, Springfield Township. It's only 300 or 3,000 miles away, so let's go.
I will be stunned if this is not Kearney, Dolph, and Jimbo.
So while we're traveling, got a long way to go, let's do a Maudstagram. Haven't done one of those for a while, so I'm going to show you some Maudes, and you tell me which one you want to stop on and talk about. I'll hover my hand over, and you can tell me when to stop.
That one. No.
That was the one. I'm choosing this one. That was the one I was going to choose first. So what do we have here? We have a cross that says Lords of Godtown and some very wonky looking. Is this a reference to something?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's from when they tried to baptise the kids. Because Ned's wearing that sort of tismal dress that he was wearing at the time. I think during it cuts and you see like the Flanders and there's like a rainbow behind them and stuff, and then you see the Simpsons and it's all like grey and horrible.
Yeah.
I think it's that image.
But Lords of Godtown is referring to something. They're stood on a skateboard.
I just assumed it was a band.
Let's see what the internet said. Lords of Dogtown is a movie. 3 young pioneering skateboarders swiftly rise to stardom. Starring Heath Ledger.
Wonderful.
2005, a Heath Ledger-based skating movie. And everyone's out there like, of course, you should know that one. Maybe it does sound a bit familiar, actually. So this is a reference. No. Rest in peace. All right, moving on.
Rest in peace, Maude and Heath. How about that one? Oh, not that one. We've done this one already.
Have we? Did we look at those last week? Those great cosplay. I guess we did, right? This one?
Yeah, that one.
By the Maudecast, by you.
Yes.
Can you describe what we have here?
It's a meme that I decided to make in show when they see the 3 cute lambs in Storytime Village, which does become Praiseland. And then like the least cute lamb tries to come in front of the cutest lamb and Homer just bats it out of the way. I incorporated Barb and Maude into that to imply that Barb is our new Maude, and Maude is nothing to us anymore because Barb is here.
But of course that's not true, unless the Barbcast happens real soon, maybe even next week. I hope not. Here's one. Let's have a quick look at this. This is apparently from the Simpsons archive. I guess this is the original drawing of Maude, maybe. But Rod and especially Todd had already appeared at that point, right?
Yeah, I think those are merchant. Like it sort of vaguely says something, but these are the images they would use on merchandise. And because I've seen these, especially the Rod and Todd. That's sort of the generic. Say if you get a poster or a Top Trumps card or something featuring the images of Rod or Todd or Maude, this is the image you would see 9 times out of 10.
This is Creative Capers Entertainment. Just a media company, so who knows why they were doing it. All right, let's do one more.
That one.
This is by Laura Drorum from day 26 of Ink Homer, which is Maude Flanders. We got quite a few of the Ink Homer drawings because I think they tell you which character to draw each day. And interestingly, Maude came in at 26. What do we have here?
Nice. It is 2 Maudes, one saying Neddy with a gasp. I'm guessing that is from the Ann Landers conversation because she's wearing a nightgown. And that's the only time I can think of her gasping. I don't think she says Neddy, though. I think she just says Ned. And the other one is the classic no sugar delivery. But they've been drawn as if... What cartoon do they look like? They look quite Charlie Brownish.
Little bit.
Peanuts.
It's an interesting take. I think Laura Drawer has done a cool job there in Ink.
I'm on board.
I'm on board too. So here I'm going to take a screenshot of all these and send them to you now before I forget.
Yes, please, and thank you.
Go. Here's one.
Give me one sec.
Going to leave Springfield. We're going to another Springfield. It's the Zaz and Brandon spin-off sitcom starring Mystery Man and children. So there was Maudstagram. That was a particularly kind of successful one today, I think. A little bit better. Do we have time for a diary before we launch into a song to take to make these merry miles on the way to Springfield Township fly by?
I do.
Brilliant.
Dear Diary, it's roughly dinner time and I've had a busy morning. I had to go to the post office to send some coupons to Marge because she collects them, not to use, just to frame. And I stubbed my toe when I got up, so I was already in a bit of a bad mood. And then I bumped into, as I was leaving the post office, I bumped into Grandpa Simpson. And I was just having a chat with him, saying like, oh, you know, what have you been up to? I really don't like your son. And he was like, oh, neither do I. And then Patty and Selma came by too, and they were like, oh, neither do we. So I asked the twins, would they like to hang out sometime? And they said yes. So that was nice. Other than that, everything was unpositive. Abe then said to me, oh, do you remember that time I had a load of money? Because my girlfriend died and I was going to give it away. I was going to give it to you and Ned, but then, because I saw you in the queue, but then you were gone the next time I looked. So I said to him, oh yeah, Ned changed his mind because he said it would be unfrisky or some bollocks. And Grandpa was like, I was going to give you that money. And but now it's all gone, you can never have it. Sorry. So I went home and I was just seething with blind, sociopathic rage. I couldn't believe that this moron, like, imagine how much money we would have had, but I have to put it to one side because we're going to play mini golf apparently, and there's not a chance that I'm not going to be bringing this up passive aggressively. And then I'm going to go now, and then there's another one from that night, and it just says, I let them all have it. They all know I'm mad. Rod with his stupid little girly hands. Yeah, I'm sat here sulking and they know it, and they're all pandering to me now. So my plan worked, except for Todd, who's in hospital with carbon monoxide poisoning. Bye.
Well, as we suspected, something had gone on that day, and Maude did let them have it. So it's interesting that she described herself as a sociopath, which is, made it easier for us.
Confirmed.
Yeah. What do you guys driving and these you children? Do you know much about Maude? Maudely who?
Maud Flanders, Nee Goodman.
I'm sorry, my friend Areno. I ain't got no clue de yoodling.
No.
What do you think, kids?
I'm Rod. I mean, it's a mystery who I am. Don't know what you're talking about, mate.
All right,
No.
Let's keep trucking on through the night. Shall we sing a song to finish? Maybe you two kids can join in as well. Okay.
Yes.
Who's going first? Me, you, or the tall kid, or the small kid?
You.
See Maude's sector ain't loving the Simpsons.
Have you not, please? Water oof ducks back in form of Thoth the Boys.
Now you have to do the tall boy and the small boy's voice as well.
This is the tall boy. Inform Thoth the Boys. Yes. Now it's you.
Maude's vlamped classic bot rod sod didn't come out the reared end.
You've got small girl's hands, he did a man's. Agna Setamore Wigan. Rod says no dad. Oh, Nunberg.
Squelching the fat of Hema. Squelch, shiz.
Smells like a bria. Everyone steps back. Bassine dot his car, no funeral. Let's monoxide it. Windmill.
Scanode in the nude, slugly. People silent. People silent, naked.
Dog is predictably shagocked, googly, then looks on passablet roller coaster. Retirements. Clancy.
Retirements. Wizard. Fauna. Samsons. Comfort. Squaxum.
Kawaii Mole Man.
Kawaii Mole Man.
The end.
Well, we finished 55 episodes. We're on our way to Springfield Township with a mystery man. And you can hear the strains of Journeys Any Way You Want Me. And we haven't been sued yet by...
That's because we haven't uploaded anything.
By the time this comes out, we will have.
But we might have been sued by then.
We haven't been sued yet by members of Journey, who are, of course, Steve Perry, Arnold Pineda, Randy Jackson, Neil Sean, Robert Fleisman, Jonathan Kane, Dean Castronovo, Greg Rowley, Ross Valerie, Steve O'Geary, Steve Smith, Nadara Michael, Ainsley Dunbar, Jeff Scott, George Tickner, Chuck Garrick, Mike Bird, and Prairie Prince. Quite a lot of them, really. Neil Sean I had an album by. Neil Schon, and Jan Hammer. It's pretty good, actually. Didn't know he was
Tom
in Journey.
Hamilton best.
Tom Hamilton best. So hopefully none of those guys decide to sue us as you hear that beautiful music playing. Bye.
I wasn't aware that Randy Jackson, the American Idol host, was from the band Journey.
Maybe he just played as a session man. I knew I'd seen that guy somewhere before.
Randy Jackson on rejoining Journey and his food divorce.
There's no such thing as a food divorce. Randall Darius Jackson. He was a session musician for the rock group Journey. He moved to Italy.
He was married to Elizabeth Jackson, but then he had a food divorce from her.
He moved to Italy in the late 1980s and played on a record by Italian pop star Zucchero. The record Zucchero and the Randy Jackson Band. In 1985, Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones was asked to provide music for the Whoopi Goldberg comedy vehicle Jumpin' Jack Flash. Richard established an all-star band which included Aretha Franklin on piano and vocals and Jackson on bass guitar.
Randy Jackson bass. His parents are called Herman Jackson and Julia LaGolden, which are great names.
He's done a hell of a lot of Randy Jackson music. Is the music still playing? As we're doing this long Randy Jackson outro.
Oh, it will be.
Bye.
Bye. That was...
Hi, yes, I'm the town priest.